Okay, hi guys. Okay, so if I were to tell you that there's a cybersecurity job that can pay more than doctors, pilots, and even software engineers, would you believe me? That job is called CISO, stands for Chief Information Security Officer. Now, this guy is the boss of cybersecurity of a company, and he makes sure attacks don't destroy the business, don't destroy the company's digital systems, the data, and all the technical stuff. And he's the same guy that is actually there to communicate with the non-technical staff, the non-technical heads, that is the CEO and the board members. So, like, if we were to play a movie and we were to make a movie on cybersecurity, so the CISO would be the general, the hackers would be the villains, would be the bad guys, the security engineers who are there to build the security systems. Those people would be the soldiers, and the general would be the CISO, the person who would be guiding those soldiers. That is the job of a CISO, the Chief Information Security Officer of a company. Now, if we talk about money, obviously, the more the responsibility, the more the pay by the company. Of course, the CISO pay is way more than any of the cybersecurity jobs that we have discussed in the earlier video. So, starting from $180,000 all the way up to $350,000 plus. That means obviously if the company is larger, then the pay of the CISO would be of course way higher than the CISO of a lower company, of a smaller company, of course. Why? Because why such high pay? Because as you know, cyber attacks are growing with the rise of AI and technology. Cyber attacks are much more powerful, and one cyber attack can cost the company millions of dollars. So that's the responsibility of CISO to prevent those attacks. That is why companies pay this guy more because he is the person who has to strategize, who has to plan all the cybersecurity stuff of the company, how to prevent attacks, how to manage teams. So his job is not just limited to technical stuff, but he also has to lead teams, lead the whole company in terms of security, cybersecurity. So that's the responsibility, job description of CISO. He has to also talk to top executives, not just IT team. So his job includes thinking, planning, and leadership as well. Now let's move further ahead and talk about how to get to this position. If you are currently starting in cybersecurity domain as the career in cybersecurity, you have to see the pathway on how you can achieve this goal of becoming a CISO of any company, of any major company. So obviously, when you have to reach a high level, an experienced level, you have to start with the basics. And the basic thing you can start is the beginner level. I have divided the levels, the pathway into different levels, starting with the beginner level. Now, the beginner level would be obviously you could become a cybersecurity analyst first, or like a system engineer or IT support. You could go into IT support, and obviously that would require some skills like the basics of cybersecurity and all that. So you can become an analyst at the beginning. Then moving forward, you once you get to this level, you achieve this level, you then move on to the next level called the advanced cyber roles level. Now in this level, you can become you can upgrade to pen testers like ethical hackers, security engineers, cloud security engineers, SOC analysts, and all that. So you could become one of those to upgrade your level and experience as well, and knowledge skills, of course. And then these are the advanced cybersecurity roles, including pen testing, pen tester, SOC analyst, and etc. You could become one of these. Now, once you have achieved this level of advanced cyber roles, you have achieved this path. Next, to become a CISO, before becoming a CISO, you have to gain leadership qualities. You have to, of course, also have the ability to communicate with your team, to lead teams, to prevent an attack, to communicate cybersecurity stuff to the non-technical people. And for that, you have to have leadership skills. And to get those skills of leadership, you have to attain leadership roles. And for that, you can become obviously a security manager, a security architect, or a director of information security. Because these guys are those guys who are not just securing systems, but are also leading people. So with these roles, you can achieve the quality of leadership. And once you have the technical stuff and the leadership qualities and the business qualities and the communication qualities, skills, you can then obviously upgrade yourself to the position of CISO in a company. Now, this is the final level CISO inside a cybersecurity domain, of course. So, at this level of CISO, you are now a business leader and a cybersecurity expert and also a risk decision maker, right? Because you work closely with CEOs, the board members, and legal and compliance teams. Now you are a chief information security officer of that company. You are a big shot in that company. So, of course, that will be a huge boost to your career if you manage to achieve this level. But obviously, you have to go through all these steps because normally the CISOs of every company are way more experienced. And how do they become experienced? By achieving these levels, beginner level, advanced cyber roles, leadership roles, and eventually the final one called CISO. So hope you understood this video. Hope you enjoyed understanding what a CISO, the Chief Information Security Officer, is. And if you are aiming for this role, just to summarize in the end, you you are perfect for this role if you have the following qualities. If you love cybersecurity, if you want top level income, if you enjoy leadership, if you like making big decisions, if you want influence, not a job, you should definitely go for this CISO position in a company. You should aim for this position, for this role inside a company, right? So this is all for this video. Hope you liked it, and hope I hope this video will encourage you to move uh, in your career at a quick pace, of course, and learn new knowledge and get new skills so that you can go way further in your career. And I hope you do. So that's all for today from my side. Bye.